You again! Always nice to see a friendly face. Keeper, you found my workshop after all. I know it may not look like much, but it's home.
I told you. You can call me Cassandra.
In front of the staff? Ha! But I'm glad you came. There's much to show you in this great land.
I thought Elysium honored heroes. I even thought this is where I'd want to come one day. But this land isn't great. It's just... haunted.
Ah! Persephone has endowed this land with a beauty only she could provide. Let me convince you. Walk with me.
Maybe you're right. I need to clear my head. Where to?
I consider myself a keymaker. One of my keys might interest you.
What do you do in your workshop?
Invent. All of reality's secrets are hidden behind doors. My inventions act as keys to lock those doors.
You reveal the secrets behind them.
Ah, you're as wise as Pythagoras. But why discuss what we can see for ourselves? Observe, way up there, Persephone's first key. If only you could have seen it when it was new.
It seems like most of Elysium is in ruins. What happened?
This place is beautiful, as are all of Persephone's creations. But it is a world that changes at her whims. When I see decay, I know she needs us at her side more than ever. The heroes who have passed through those golden fields, basking in the glory of eternal peace. Each thinking they'd see nothing more beautiful, only then to set eyes on Persephone.
Off we go now.
Encampment is the site where Hephaestus built a home for Aphrodite.
Doesn't look like much now.
It stood tall until Aphrodite met their child Adonis. His ability to wreak havoc with a wink and a smile is second to none. That cave leads to a key I built for the staff. Consider it our secret. The keymaker and the staff keeper, friends bound by mysteries.
to me in there.
Imagine for a moment, inside you, inside all of us, are parchments twisting like ribbon. On those parchments is written the story of who you are, who you were, and who you will become. Does that make sense?
Like everything else here, I don't understand any of it.
Let's call it the fates then. Your fate is predetermined, but what you experienced in there was a key I built that can unlock it and allow you to control it. I've built many.
Thank you. I'm not used to doing this on my own. On the Adrestia, I had Varnavas as a guide.
Ah, well, I hope it's a long time before I meet him here. I'll leave you to your adventuring. You're welcome to come back to my workshop anytime.
Here, Hermes.
Welcome to the uprising. These ruins were abandoned when Persephone constructed her paradise. We won't be bothered here.
But there are so few of you.
Most of Persephone's army consists of mind-controlled humans. Free their minds and bring them to me. We can use them as troops.
Free their minds?
My dear friend Hermes is a master manipulator. And that staff of yours looks like one of his creations. Try using that. There's an outpost southwest from here, nestled in the hand of Hades. Warriors were spotted in its paw.
Ross, quiet! He stood there, soaking wet and sputtering, while his boat floated away from him down the Eridan River in pieces.
I'd give my sharpest bronze dagger to see that silly human trying to leave Elysium on a felucca.
Have you visited my mother recently, and given her my love?
Always. The meteor sends her love in return.
Well, I'd better get back. Elysium won't rule itself. Do keep an eye out for me. I sense trouble brewing in Paradise.
I was starting to think you'd never get here. You can't waste time if you hope to break Persephone's control over the gate to the underworld. You might be playing both sides with Persephone and Adonis, but I know where your true motives lie.
Is that so?
Unfortunately, no one passes through the gate to the underworld without Persephone's permission, which she has never given. Ever. Luckily for you, as the goddess of crossroads and keys, locked doors happen to be my specialty.
Are you saying you can get me through the gate?
I'm saying I can help you bypass Persephone.
From what I just saw, you're pretty close with Persephone. Why would you want to work against her?
I'm not asking for your blind trust. Let me prove our goals align. This unlocks the door to Persephone's hidden sanctuary. She keeps all of her most intimate possessions there, stowed away from her husband. Among her treasures is a journal rumored to contain information you desperately need about the gate. Bring it to me as soon as you can.
I'll go get the journal.
The sooner you bring me it, the closer you are to leaving Elysium. Don't waste any time.
This journal is missing pages. Hope Hecate still wants it. I'm not sure how stealing Persephone's journal will help me open the gate to the underworld, but here it is.
Stealing Persephone's journal wouldn't help us. But stealing the journal that belonged to the gate's locksmith will.
Who's the locksmith?
It doesn't say. Looks like a lot of pages were torn out. Now be quiet while I read. Well, that was illuminating.
So? What does it say?
Oh, so eager. The location of the gate is not revealed. But so long as Persephone controls Elysium, you need her permission to pass through it. Which you will never get.
But if she loses control of Elysium?
She loses control of the gate. You need to undermine her influence any way you can.
And how do you suggest I do that?
Your alliance with Adonis is a good start. His head-on tactics are a little obvious for my taste, but in time, he will wear down Persephone's forces.
What about our alliance? Where do you come in?
I know all of Persephone's weaknesses, and I'll direct you to them when the time is right. Until then, you'd be wise to spend some time with Persephone's lapdog, Hermes. Learn to use that staff. You'll need a divine weapon in the land of gods.
Welcome to the uprising. These ruins were abandoned when Persephone constructed her paradise. We won't be bothered here.
But there are so few of you.
Most of Persephone's army consists of mind-controlled humans. Free their minds and bring them to me. We can use them as troops.
Free their minds?
My dear friend Hermes is a master manipulator. And that staff of yours looks like one of his creations. Try using that. There's an outpost southwest from here, nestled in the hand of Hades. Warriors were spotted in its paw.
You're released from the grasp of Hypnos. Elysium awaits you! The flames of Hypnos are dying. I release you from their control.
You surprise me. When we first met, I was positive you were sent by Persephone to...
To what?
seduce me. Confuse me. Anything to make me forget my love. But when I asked you to weaken Persephone's influence, you did. I asked you to bring me warriors, and here they are.
And all I had to do was risk my life for you to trust me.
No one in Elysium is who they say. So when a clever warrior shows up to help me escape, you'll have to excuse me if I'm skeptical.
Time to find more warriors.
Scouts spotted one nearby. Was a Spartan hero in his former life. He's not under Persephone's influence, but keeps mostly to himself. With a champion like him on our side, we can't fail.
How will I know when I find him?
From what I'm told, you can't miss him.
Leonidas!
You have the eyes of my daughter. So something did survive that day. How do you have this?
Mirini. She's my mother. I'm here because I need your help. I need you to fight.
I have found peace here. Why would I fight?
All my life, I was told of my grandfather. The king who spat in the face of the gods and ran his spear through anyone who threatened the freedom of his people. Now I'm the one fighting for freedom, and I'm asking my grandfather for help.
We'll need to use the terrain to our advantage.
So you'll fight with us?
Not until you fight me. You say you're Marini's daughter. I want to see how she trained you. Fight for you, if you are willing to die for them. An enemy on their last breath is at their most dangerous. I could have used you at Thermopylae.
You could have used a lot of people at Thermopylae.
I am glad this spear is in your hands. I will fight with you. You have my word as a Spartan.
Thank you, grandfather. You look concerned.
I'm worried about Persephone.
Persephone can look after herself.
She's incredible. I agree, but these are strange times. I've heard that some ungrateful delinquents plot against her.
These ungrateful delinquents, could they be right?
Bah! You give them too much credit. Still, Persephone needs protection.
Don't look at me.
There's a friend of mine and your father's, Kyros of Xarax. He's a strong and honorable warrior. He's been abducted, but if we could free him...
You're suggesting we make a human Persephone's bodyguard?
With Kyros at the ready, the humans will think twice before attacking one of their own.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you were in love with Persephone.
No one understands her the way I do. Adonis, she's a cruel despot. To her husband, she's a trinket on his arm.
And what do you see?
Me? Oh, I don't know. I've never had anyone ask me before. She's... everything.
How do you know this, Kyros?
He was an aide, of sorts, to your father. Every great painter needs a hand to crush their pigment. That was Kyros, a warrior.
Say no more. I'll find Kyros for you.
Ah, I knew I could trust you. While you're gone, I'll arrange a meeting with Persephone. Bring Kyros to the heart of Elysium. We'll be there.
All right, Kyros. Let's make this quick. You said this is going to be easier than you thought.
Since we're basically family, I'm trusting your honor. I work for Adonis.
But you were caged by humans.
Yes, and Hermes found out about it right around the time Persephone was coaxed into deciding she needs a bodyguard.
You staged the whole thing and you're using Hermes to infiltrate Persephone's lair? You're no simple warrior.
Before I met your father, I had 4 sons, each a warrior. When my third boy fell in battle, there was only guilt. I'd cried all my tears for the first 2.
Go on.
And with the 4th, I felt longing. Sadness had become my only friend. And I had no one left to grieve. Warriors don't bring peace. They bring sorrow.
So by getting behind Persephone's defenses, you think you can prevent war? You could convince her to surrender or distract her while Adonis escapes.
Anything but battle. But before we go to Persephone, I have to send confirmation this plan worked. Will you take me?
Fine, but be quick. We need to go to Persephone and Hermes. They're waiting. You really think you can save lives?
I'm not sure how death works in Elysium, but suffering is eternal. And that is something I can't stop.
Come on. Come on.
They're coming!
That's all of them. Let's keep moving.
Once Adonis hears my plan worked, maybe he'll stand down.
Hurry, Kyros. We need to get back to Hermes, or Persephone might suspect something.
I hear Persephone likes to test her new recruits. And I've got a bit of a temper. If you see me turning red,
I'll think of something.
Ella!
Let's go.
Where have you been? No one keeps Persephone waiting.
It got complicated. We took a less direct route.
what matters, Hermes, is I'm freed thanks to you. When I go to my queen, I will make sure she's grateful to you for my service.
Explain it to Persephone. She's waiting.
I'll make sure she knows this was entirely my fault, not yours.
I'm sorry I was ungrateful. Kyros will make a strong guard. Thank you again, friend.
Here, Hermes.
Keeper, I've been robbed. These are dark times for Elysium. Those delinquent fools have robbed even me.
What did they take?
I fashioned a key, a recipe if you will, for an eternal flame. I intended to gift it to Persephone. With it, she could shine her light, even in the underworld.
An eternal flame could bring order to this chaos.
You understand her burden better than you let on. By enduring her sacrifice, Persephone keeps us safe in the underworld.
So write the recipe again.
What I wrote took lifetimes. We can't let it stay in the hands of humans who would use it against her. Keep her. Cassandra, we have to steal it back.
I'll take back this recipe, but only because I don't think anyone should have access to a flame that never dies.
These are desperate times. You've seen the cloud these delinquents cast on our golden fields.
I said I'd get it.
I thank you. You are quickly becoming my friend and ally.
An eternal flame sounds more like a myth than some simple recipe.
I began writing the recipe with your father. It's as real as the danger we'd face without it.
Why do you go to these lengths to save Persephone? She wouldn't do the same for you.
Since these humans started acting against her, she's been suffering. When she suffers, we all suffer.
Hermes, has it occurred to you she might just be using you?
Of course not. She simply needs someone to rely on. She needs me.
I'll find the rebels and get your recipe.
That's all I ask. If you are spotted or cause a commotion, we risk retaliation. Go unseen. We need to get the recipe back.
About that. Here it is.
You've spared this realm great suffering, my friend. I wonder, were you spotted?
Of course not. But Hermes...
Good. We don't risk retaliation.
I'm keeping these torn notes. If rebellion is coming, this power could be used to light all of Elysium on fire.
Perhaps you're right. So long as you swear to me you'll guard this secret with your life, I can rest, knowing Persephone will never be touched by this flame.
Hermes, things are worse in Elysium than I've been letting on. The rebels are organized and ready to fight. War is coming.
We must crush the force behind the chaos. Let's fight for Persephone.
You're so worried about Persephone, you can't even see you're in just as much danger.
You kept the eternal flame out of the hands of the humans, and you went unseen. We have the upper hand. We just have to strike.
Calm yourself, Hermes. It's not like you're going to go on a rampage.
And why not? There are so-called captains guiding the human forces. They invited chaos into this realm, so let's show them chaos.
Fine. I'll kill the captains.
I cannot let you do this alone, my friend. Let's fight side by side.
I'll need to do this alone, Hermes. But don't worry. You can still take the credit.
Hey, I warned you!
That's all the humans. I'll let Hermes know.
Minin prokala sa tinte.
You're back. Because of us. Because of you. Persephone is safe. Thank you, my friend.
No need to thank me. I'm sure you'd have done the same if you had to.
Modest and deadly. Impressive. But the war is just beginning.
It is.
I should tell Persephone what's happened. I know she will join me in this battle. Will you?
One way or another.
Until then, my friend.